Lidia. How are you today?
Hey, Anca. I'm a bit nervous, I have to say, because it's our first actual podcast and we're talking something very, very dear to me. How are you?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a try that we never made it. Again, it's a collaboration that, of course, we have spoken about it for quite some time, but we never put it in practice. And today is the day when we have preparing the for the last month, and today is the day of recording. So maybe it's time to share what are we doing and why we are here today.
Cool. So, exactly, like Anca and I met few years ago even, and ever since then we clicked on the topic that we now call Lead as You. What is it about, really? We were started to talk about what does it mean for women in the corporate to really tap into something very, very true, and the energy that unlocks when you lead as you. So we were talking about this, having calls, meeting in different virtual and physical spaces, exchanging some WhatsApp messages. And at one point, Anka said, okay, we really need to put this out because this will resonate with maybe more women. And yeah, I said, absolutely, we should. So we're newbies in the podcast world, bear with us. But really, we're on this mission that's very dear to both of us because really we want to empower you to lead as you. So the idea of this mini podcast series is that we have this just conversations that we used to have with Anka one-on-one, and we share it now with you. That we share what leading as you is, how to do it, why would you want to do it, because we feel you will know what it is, but we want to make it very practical. So when you listen to it, you can be like, this is something I can do for myself in my working life. And we're going to have what, 4 or 5? Help me.
4 podcasts, 4 episodes.
Right, and we're gonna finish with the last one being an actual event called
Yeah.
Lead as You, where we're gonna make it very, very practical, summing it all up, but also having one of you who's interested and who really follows our mini podcast. We're gonna offer a mini coaching on your specific case on leading as you. So that's the idea. We want to make it very real, very conversational, like we usually talk with Anka. So that's the point. How did we come to this, Anka? Tell the world.
Yeah, and I think that's actually the beauty because we've been thinking, when do you realize what means lead as you, and what makes us to kind of even start talking about this topic? And it was maybe also started when you start with your story about how was your life in the corporates and what made you to take the path of what you are doing today, and then me also sharing my evolution and my transformation from really being a very good and in I would say army wise corporate girl into trying to get outside of the corporate world and actually explore different things. And when I realized that when you speak and bring who you are from the soul and from authentic who you are, you can realize actually more that you are recognized more as a leader. You bring happiness into satisfaction in what you realize, and also you become recognized as a leader much easier because it comes the it's you gain trust from the people around you. And that was in at the conference, and we talk about what means to be women in the today's world, especially in the technology. What means to be a leader as a woman? How much do you need to play the game? How much you need to wear a mask, or you shouldn't wear a mask to succeed, to become whoever you want to be in the job or on your career? And that's where Lidia started. What really means lead as you, Anca? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and if I just wanted to ask you to give an actual, actual example of how you started and why did you start leading as you?
Yeah, I think it's actually very interesting because, again, all the life we are learned to be part of something big, and we want to be part of a community. We want to become part of the team at the, where you are. Um, and then someone in my career, someone's kind of pushed me, to be honest, to go and speak in public.
Mm-hmm.
I have never done it before, and I had even no clue what it is. And you know, you prepare, and then you realize that when you are on the stage and when you speak from the heart about things that you know about it, you know the world is opening to you. So I really started to exercise that, and you know, the feedback I've started to receive, it was immense. People were coming to you, and I didn't even realize that I could do it. And then every time, you know, you start to small, you don't even think, you go and, you know, you go and start talking there, speaking there, connecting there. It becomes like a snowball effect, and things becoming bigger, and the doors are opening, connections are opening, you meet different people, and you realize actually the power of being who you are and being simple, authentic, good, you know, natural. And then, you know, things are growing from that. And then, and going to the leadership, because I also realize that people around you sense when you are true kind, when you are truly interested in doing good things, when you, it's not really about hierarchies, it's not about being a manager, it's about being a leader. And that's also how your vision can really be put into practice. Again, breaking barriers of hierarchies, because you are so empowered and trusted in what you are doing. You have that confidence, you have knowledge, you have confidence. I know I'm talking what I'm talking about. I know I can do it. And in the end, it's really about me being happy that I can deliver something that means for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And I love how you make it very clear that, I mean, when you are publicly speaking, when you're on stage, people can see you through. Well, actually, they always can, but when you're on stage, it's just like from moment one, it's there. And I love how you share that, you know, kind of when you truly share who you are, what you envision, people just want to follow, no matter what the hierarchy is, be that the super top bosses or anybody of any level below you. People just want to follow people who really are true. And in my case, you know, I realized that what you said, one thing you said really resonated, the good corporate girl at any level. Actually, you know, we've been conditioned from very early on to follow a certain good girl script. Nobody has actually like written it, but we sense it. And in my case, I was also following that script of, this is how you have to be, this is how you have to look like, this is how you obviously have to perform and, you know, kind of present yourself and fit in so that you belong. We all have this belonging need. But particularly for women, I realized that it applies to me hardcore, that I was really molding myself badly to fit in, to succeed, and to be perceived as somebody really who can really be leading in a male dominated function. Back then I was working in procurement, which is like hardcore 60 cisgendered white men who are looking at this younger lady and being like, who are you here? And definitely that experience was really getting me like hardcore pumped on, this is how you have to be to even make them listen to you. But at one point I also started to realize that, you know, okay, I deliver, I perform, but I'm also losing so much energy on this masking that it starts to cost me more than it brings back. And then I think also for the first time I read about this term masking for women. And then I saw that 75% of women in the corporate, myself included back then, are masking and are burning themselves out. So maybe just something that, you know, I would love to ask our audience to reflect for themselves. Are you masking now? And how are you masking if you are in those 75%? And just really feel for yourself, what does it cost you? How much energy are you spending on thinking, what will they think of me? How do I have to speak or walk or really like do, I don't know what, circus tricks to really impress them and be taken seriously? So that's a reflection I wanted to share.
Yeah, and then actually now you opened me another topic that I just realized that, you know, internet is full of advices how to succeed in the corporate world. And now I realized one, and if I want actually to bring it up to you, was uh, about how to dress when you meet, in the corporate, and how to smile in the elevator to whoever is like the big boss around you. And I read that, and now I really reflected when I read it. This is so fake in a way, meaning you just want to put a mask about, showing, that I dress nice. And actually it's also reflecting the world we are in, because somehow these tricks are really functioning. And that's actually a very interesting story, how you go beyond that and how you come through your true who you are, your capacity, your values, your possibilities to deliver, your power to look for a vision and implementing, and how goes beyond this very, I would say, not even important things like how you dress. And I have to say, I like to dress nicely. So for me, it will be very easy to go in an elevator and be nicely dressed, because I have a little bit of a passion for fashion. But it's not, this shouldn't be the success, how I'm dressed. So this is very, very interesting about, the power of being who you are in all the situation. And sometimes it's like you said about energy to mask it, but also energy not to mask it. How you balance it.
Yeah. And you realized, you just really inspired me to realize one episode, but when I clearly felt that, I am or losing my energy or actually flowing on it, like surfing on it, maybe is the word. So I shared that, I was coming from this procurement world, tough, very, male dominated. And so, and at one point I walked into the room when I heard my really senior suppliers talking about, oh, this new girl, they said even. And I walk in the room understanding that they talk about me. And I, realized that, I can blow my cheeks and try to impress them and show that I'm very serious. But I said, okay, I realize that you're probably thinking that I'm too young to do this. And I could see that they are leaning back. So I really just named, the elephant they've been trying to kind of put me down with. And then I was like, okay, maybe there is something that I haven't yet experienced, but you will help me realize how to work it out. And I just made it, I named the elephant, and all of a sudden it turns into my advantage that they can give me, some tips, but I will make the decision in the end. So sometimes naming your disadvantage can really be the opposite of it. But then also, kind of the other thing that I realized, that whatever you perceive maybe your weakness can again be, your strength. So with the exact same message, I remember going to a very senior leader saying, maybe I don't have all the experience, but then I have this idea. And this was really the idea that I really wanted to see implemented. And the guy was like, cool, go do it. Show me a business plan of how could it look like. So really just consider for yourself, how can you, when you're listening to this, maybe be putting yourself, the more real self, out there. And like we said, we want to keep it conversational, but also very practical. We want to put our conversations out there to the world. And we were thinking of sharing with you in each episode a practical tip. If this resonates with you, how you could start. Do you want to share the tip, Anca?
Yeah, I think our tip is actually try to realize who are you. So when there is no job description, no job title, outside of your work, what makes you you? And I think what we would like you to do is to put down 3 words about who are you. Also, probably talk to a friend. Try to find out how they see you outside the work, and start reflecting on these things. Share it with a friend, and then for the next episode when we meet, maybe take it to the next level, understanding what are the fears that you may have being who you are and what makes you who you are. So yeah, with that saying, Lidia, do you want?
Yeah, and then we're going to wait for you at the next podcast, and we want to ask you if this resonates. We invite you to, start working with us in identifying the whole self you, the real you. And that's why, kind of things that you will think about you can come up from different pieces of your life, but really who you are and how can you show more of who you really are. So please follow us, share what resonated from this episode with you, share it with somebody who you think would benefit from listening to this, and register to the final event. And maybe you're going to be the one who we coach and talk about leading as you in our final event. See you there.
Yeah, see you. Bye bye.